Well, hello, top of the morning. I don't know if I'm going to be alone here, but I am going to get it because guess what, people? This ends up on the YouTube, so I have to just make it happen, whether you're here or not. OMG, Bitcoin, listen up. You better get your act together, let me tell you. Hey, peeps, do me a favor. I'm going to make you guys a speaker here. Can somebody go in the Discord? Is this posted in the Discord? Because I know there's peeps that want to get points. Let me know, and I'm going to make you speaker, all of you. Man, do we have some good stuff to talk about today, especially with the market the way it is. Sadie, I'm inviting you to co-host. Yeah, Northern Satoshi, you're coming on here. Let me tell you, you got to speak. Everything Bitcoin stamps. I absolutely want to hear from you. Don't you even dare run away because we have a fantastic opportunity. I'm even going to invite you to co-host. John Crip 2, you're going to be invited to speak. Nobody is running away today. We need support. Why? Because look at Bitcoin. But I have a tremendous opportunity, actually. It's actually all quite good news. Yeah, good news. The market is like melting away, but it's actually, there's so much good news happening here, people. Let me do the universal greeting, and then somebody can help me out with Discord. Go in there. Is the link there? Because I know some people want to gain points for this. But here we go. The universal greeting. Beijing, ni hao. London, hello, top of the morning to you. Los Angeles, hey. Paris, bonjour. Lisbon, hola. Hong Kong, hello. Yes, they say hello. Kind of sounds like English to me. Well, Sweden, they say hey, like H-E-J, hey. Sounds like English to me, people. Toronto, OMG, Toronto. What is happening over there in Toronto? Ottawa, my goodness. 11:11. Hey, I just looked at the timer. 11:11. That's a good number. But Toronto, the Canadian dollar. Good day, eh? And Tokyo, konnichiwa. My name is Trudy Art. This is the Universe Wallet, Indexer, Explorer, Minting, and Marketplace, all on tapwallet.io. Unleashing Bitcoin's full potential, making the Universe Wallet your all-in-one solution to manage all your assets. Where? In one place. There's full support, people, for TAP, DMT, UNAT, Runes, BRC20, LRC20, Lambda. Oh my God, I got to keep going. Yes, I do, because SRC20, stamp, now Dust 20, and more. Before we get started, just a helpful reminder, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. And I got 3 questions for you, and they're not going to change until somebody actually answers them. Notice I asked the questions, yet nobody pops up here and gives me an answer. Somebody at some time, that's my water with my glass straw. Do you have water? It's really important. Stay hydrated, people, because you are going to need to have that blood flowing. So next question, do you have a blood pressure monitor? Some of you are going to need it today if you looked at the market. And 3, are you ready to stamp your mind? Yes, I'm being serious. Stamp is a serious protocol. Even the bots are chiming in on Stamp. OMG. And they are giving it the green light. That is for sure. If you're here at the Universe, if I say I should give away some sats or something. If I say I'm gonna, like, the swear jar. I'm gonna have the sats jar. Airdrop multipliers. I'm gonna quickly tell you about these airdrop multipliers. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it throughout the show, kind of like little breaks here. So I'm going to give you 2 multipliers at the start of the show. If you're involved in Discord, then you will know that as the TAP airdrops are being released by the universe, because early adopters are always rewarded, the first 20 that respond get a 5x multiplier on their airdrops. The first 50 get a 2x multiplier on the airdrops. So what I'll do is every 15 minutes, I'm going to give you more multipliers. So you'll just have to stay tuned. We're here to talk about Stamp, and I'm going to look throughout the universe here and see who's online with us. Northern Satoshi, are you going to come on here? And BTC Stamp Art, are you going to come on here and help me out here? I'm going to invite you to speak. Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. Sadie, are you on here with me? Are you back to listening mode? Come on, people. I need some support here. Sadie, get back on here. I invite you to speak again. Maybe you can't, but I'll tell you something. Bitcoin right now is giving us such an opportunity. And many of you are thinking, oh, really? What's that opportunity? If you're not already involved in the Bitcoin ecosystem, well, you've got an opportunity right now. Bitcoin is doing its acrobats here. You know what I thought was funny? There was somebody a while back, when Bitcoin goes down, they're like, Bitcoin, you're drunk. Go home. Sleep it off and then come back. So we are at $94,496.80 USD. That's an actual opportunity for what? To buy some Bitcoin. Yeah, buy some Bitcoin. And then go bag hunting. Yeah, through the stamp market. And I'm being very serious here because we don't get a lot of occasions like this. And we are experiencing higher lows, not lower lows. So if we're experiencing higher lows, that tells you that there is a trajectory and it is called up. So if we are going up, then you want to make sure that you have all the things in your bag that you want. Now, let's for a moment talk about SRC20. If you want to make sure that you're picking up some of the stuff in the SRC20 world that is going to increase your sats, you definitely want to take a look at Stamp. Obviously, Stamp is the protocol. Stamp is the art. It's secure, it's transferable, it's tradable, artifacts maintained permanently. Within that protocol, you can stamp art, okay? And we're going to be featuring artists every Wednesday as they reach out to us. Next Wednesday, you guys are in for a treat. We have a major, let's say, surprise for some of you that are in love with art. There are some artists that are coming to the universe that are really exciting, and they're coming to Stamp. They've chosen Stamp, and they are going to be revealing their collection, and I am going to be so excited to actually interview that artist. So if there are any artists out there that want to hop in here now and just talk a little bit about the art in Stamp, what they're doing, and maybe the projects that are coming up that they're excited about, or anything that they'll be bringing to the Stamp marketplace, that would be great. Stamp is also obviously the tokens, and Stamp SRC20 is very, there's a very robust community in Asia that loves Stamp. Asia is ahead of the game, people. I'm sorry, but they are. They just seem to be the trendsetters out there, and they have taken on to Stamp like fire to fire, okay? Like wildfire to a forest, I would say. And right now, one of the most beloved and the most the most sought after SRC20 is STAMP. It is currently sitting at about a $37 million market cap, and it's at 40 sats. Yeah, 40 sats. So what does that mean? That means that at the price of Bitcoin right now, you can actually load your bags. you can load your bags. Why? Because as Bitcoin increases in price, so do those sats. So for this wonderful, I'm just gonna, it's called a spin, okay? It's called a spin. That's what they do. I'm spinning it. This is an opportunity. Don't be sad, okay? Don't be sad. Bitcoin is down, so now is the time. If you can pick some more Bitcoin, with some more sats up, Bitcoin up, then you can actually increase your sats potentially by going bag hunting. And one of the first SRC20s that you should be really taking a look at is stamp. And it's at 40 sats. Right now, if I go on openstamp.io, because let's be honest, people, it's not at the universe yet. That marketplace is coming. And if that marketplace can hurry up and get here sooner than later, then guess what? We can actually take advantage of the fact that Bitcoin is just right now on a roller coaster ride. So I see right now that on openstamp.io, it's up about 149%. That's pretty fantastic. So it's one of the only tokens right now that is actually in the green. And at 40 sats, you can pick that up. The other stamp that you definitely want to pick up, and it's only 10.25 sats. Oh my goodness, that's Kevin. Kevin is the first mint SRC20. And as the first mint SRC20, first is first, people. Also, Kevin, there is an amazing story about Kevin. Kevin is the name of the dev, Renamora. So Kevin is his alter ego. Kevin is the ghost in the machine. There's a really cool story about that. And I have to get Kevin back here, Renamora, so he can share more about that. But the actual token right now is sitting at 10.25 sats. And we are at a market cap of about 6 million people, $6 million. Come on here. This is just a pickup waiting to happen. Luffy also is another token that many people are excited about. And Luffy right now is at about 3.43 sats and an overall market cap of $32 billion. I'm going to give those top three for now, and I'm going to give you a way to actually pump your bags. Yeah, I'm going to give you a way to pump your bags. AI agents. People, I've been asking the AI agents to pump our bags, and they're saying some interesting thing about stamps. Has anybody seen what those AI agents are actually saying? Because I think that's interesting that they are doing the work for us. And if you take a look right now, they're out there, and they have some interesting things to say, and I'm going to share that with you. I'm just getting a DM here, so if you can just hang on a second, and I will see what is going on with that. But who can come up here? And oh, okay. Let's see here. There's Sadie. Are you back on here?
Yep, I'm here.
Hold it down for me a second, Sadie. Tell us a little bit about what's going on. I need you to hold it down. I got some stuff, some important news coming in here. Tell us a little bit about your experience so far in Stamp, and anything that you want to ask, questions that you want to ask, because I'm here to answer, or your feedback at all on Stamp while I get some major for us here.
All right, so engage brain cells, right? That's pretty tough this morning. I knew nothing about crypto at all, really, until a couple of months ago when Trudy got me going in this Universe Tap Wallet. And I'm pretty amazed. I have learned so much. I've spent a lot of time. I've minted the iStamps. I've minted a lot of stuff, not totally knowing what I'm doing, but it's been working out all right for me. My daughter is in the background here, and she's listening to everything I say all the time. She's a young adult, and she's getting highly interested in all of this as well. Say hi, Carly.
Hello.
Hey, Carly, we have to bring everybody in here. Carly, get over here. I got some
Hi.
questions for you.
Hello, it's Carly. Hi.
Okay, Carly. What are your impressions so far on what your mom is doing in the Bitcoin ecosystem? Have you heard about Stamp? Anything at all that you can share with us?
Well, I just recently heard about the stamp and started being interested in what my mom has been doing at Christmas time, and she's back here visiting me again and showing me what she's been up to, and I guess I'm mind blown, but also just processing processing how to I guess just what to do with the information. It's pretty, it is wild and huge to me.
We tried to get the Universe wallet on her, but she's only got a tablet and it won't accept it because it's an it wants to do it like it's a phone. It won't do the computer one. But other than that,
Okay. Do you have any questions about Stamp? Like Stamp is on top of Bitcoin. And as many people are going to realize, Bitcoin is about to take over everywhere. You're probably gonna turn on any mainstream media, and they'll be talking about Bitcoin because now that our governments are slowly adopting Bitcoin, it is going to proliferate everywhere. And so Stamp is a protocol on top of Bitcoin. And so if you can't, buy a whole Bitcoin, obviously you can buy sats. And the name of the game is to increase those sats and eventually get one whole Bitcoin. And so Stamp gives us that opportunity. How? Well, through stamps, because they are secure to Bitcoin, they're tradable, they're artifacts, and they're maintained permanently. Many people are believing that this is going to be one of the best protocols in the future that will have a use case attached to it because of its permanency. So there's real tech behind Stamp. So if you're coming into the Bitcoin ecosystem and you want a way to increase the amount of sats that you have, Stamp is a really great protocol to actually start looking into and getting involved in. And I know that will probably sound like a lot, but do you have like maybe a question that you want to ask or from anything that I've shared with you so far, or no pressure?
who was that directed to?
Anyone, and either of you, because this is what really the space is about, is to get people involved in the whole protocol of Stamp and ask any questions, because it is a lot of information, isn't it?
Okay, so Carly's question was, we have iStamps and we have stamps like the one that I bought of HF NFT Pepe. Tell us about the different kinds, just so we're clear.
Okay, great. Okay, so first of all, the universe itself, as I've shared at the top of the show, that's a wallet. That's also a marketplace. And the whole idea behind the universe is that they want to create a place where you can come to as a user in Bitcoin. You can come to and you can jump through all the protocols. Bitcoin is so unique in that it's on chain. All of the other stuff, it's centralized, and it's set up differently. So Bitcoin is on chain. So that's really important because it hasn't really engaged in all of the art and the token type stuff that we've seen come out of, say, Solana or ETH. Okay. And I'm saying that because the universe recognizes that, wait a minute, there's a whole bunch of different protocols on top of Bitcoin. It's not like when you go to Solana, you're in Solana, one and done, that's it. But when you come to Bitcoin, you've got BRC20s, you've got now Dust 20, you've got LRC20, okay? And then you have SRC20, so the stamp. So the universe itself is creating this marketplace that we can all come to. And as a result, it is trying to reward all of the new users to the marketplace. So specifically for the stamp protocol, it's created the iStamps. iStamps are actually tap tokens. Okay, so tap tokens. So once you buy an iStamp, those tap tokens will give you 50% of the marketplace fees from the stamp market. So again, buying iStamps from the universe, or minting them rather, will give you 50% of the marketplace fees that are generated from buying stamps, the art, and buying stamps, the token. That's a really big deal, because a lot of the game in crypto is the fee market. That's why we're seeing a lot of DEXs, decentralized exchanges, popping up, because the sweet spot is what the centralized exchanges are experiencing. They get to collect fees from all of us. So the universe is now allowing us to experience what it's like to collect those fees. So if you have 10 iStamps, then you get to collect fees. So that's what the iStamps are. They just allow you to collect fees that are generated from every time somebody buys art. So when you bought your HF NFT Pepe art, that generated some fees, and then those fees go into a bucket. And from that bucket, we, the iStamp holders, if we have 10, we earn 50% of that automatically. So that's that. That's what iStamps are. Now, stamp, the art that you bought from HNFT Pepe, that is basically art that is attached to Bitcoin. Many people actually say that's almost like owning Bitcoin. So so one might be confused. They might come into Bitcoin and say, okay, well, why don't I just buy Bitcoin? Yes, you can buy Bitcoin, but we've got an opportunity here to increase your sats. Why? You bought that HNFT Pepe, I don't know, maybe for 0.0001 BTC. And, most people hodl stamp art, I got to be honest. But as stamp, the protocol attracts and increases in momentum and value, you're able to probably cash out of that, or sats out of that, at maybe 0.01 BTC. So you're buying in BTC, you're buying in sats, and you're selling in sats. And the name of the game is to increase your sats. So many people, I don't know if they're realizing that that's a tremendous opportunity. So you're able to actually, pump your bags, as they say. Another example would be the stamp tokens. Much of the pump from the stamp tokens comes from minting. So for instance, when the SRC20s came out, that's the token side, you basically could mint 100,000 tokens, and the cost, I'll give the cost in US dollars, not sats. The cost was probably $10 or less, and maybe $60 when the mempool was really hot there. That one mint, okay, today is worth literally, I'll tell you what it's worth. I'm going to real time just so you can see here. Okay, so that $100,000 mint right now is $4,442.86. So you took $60 and you turn it into $4,442.86. But more importantly, you increased your sats. So you started off with, let's say, I want to give this to you in sats. Let's say you started off with 0.0001 sats. Okay, well, right now that's worth 0.023 BTC. That's amazing. That's amazing. If you can actually go into an investment on top of Bitcoin and increase the amount of Bitcoin, then that's the whole name of the game. Imagine if you could do this enough time to earn one whole Bitcoin. So that's the power of investing in the Bitcoin ecosystem, that there's a ton of ways to increase your sats. And I think there's many people that they haven't really understood the power in the SRC20 community. Why is it different from the other protocols? Because you can also increase your sats in BRC20, in all of the other protocols, which you should do, by the way. I jumped through different protocols. The difference here is all of the stamps, the stamp art that you have, and all of the stamp tokens that you have, they cannot be pruned from Bitcoin. And, you know, you never say never, but if they tried, it would be very difficult. Why is that even a concern? Well, in 2023, when all of this art and the tokens started happening on Bitcoin, there was a lot of controversy over that being spam. What? That's spam? Yeah, said the laser-eyed maxis, because Bitcoin it's a different world. Okay, there's a lot of protectionism around Bitcoin. Okay, it's I've got something here that I'll share that later. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of protectionism around Bitcoin. So in the Bitcoin space, they just want Bitcoin to be purely a pure asset, and it's Bitcoin only. It's nothing else. But there's a lot of creative people out there, and they said, well, we want to see if we can actually create art on here. We want to see maybe if we can have fun with the tokens and do a little gambling. And a lot of the OGs on Bitcoin, they really got uptight about this. And I remember it getting to the point where they were looking at forking potentially Bitcoin. And that would mean that they would be pruning some of the art and the tokens. And that was a possibility if you were on BRC20, because of how the tokens are, because of how the information is stored in on the chain. It's stored in the witness data, so that's prunable. I'm trying to use words that would relate more to that would be more relatable, because I find within the Bitcoin space, it's a lot of code talking. And as more and more people come in here, they're used to being on the Solana or the ETH chain, where it's just 1, 2, 3, easy peasy, press a button. But in Bitcoin, it is a lot different. It's a lot different. A lot of the language is it's not transferable as yet. So people are still confused. And I know this because I get a ton of questions coming at me like, what's going on? What's happening? And in Bitcoin, they're all about the RTFM. And honestly, Bitcoin, behave. Come on. There's a ton of people that want in here. And more are going to come. So we have to build the bridge of words to get them over here, like Michael Saylor did. I talk about this all the time. Michael Saylor, who is one of the biggest, kindest maxis out there, he had to get his corporate people over here. So instead of shutting them out with words, he brought them in with words. He started talking about Cyber Manhattan. Yes, Cyber Manhattan. So that language was the bridge to bring them over. And by the way, hope.com, that website belongs to Michael Saylor. He actually created that because he wanted resource materials for normies, for his corporates, that because the corporates are normies, people. Yeah. Because they're coming from TradFi. So he wanted to create resource materials to get him over here. So he created this whole library of YouTube videos that actually orange pilled him, hope.com. You better believe it. So if you want to get your mom, your dad, your neighbor into Bitcoin, send them to hope.com. That's it. You don't need to say anything more. You don't need to try to explain that it's cryptography and blah, 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 blah. Just send them to hope.com. And then they'll start to get it. And once they start to get it, the next thing that they'll want to do is they'll want to get as much Bitcoin as possible, which Michael is doing. OMG. He says he has no kids, no wife, and he is going to leave everything to us through smart contracts. OMG. I saw that. I was like, my God, he loves Bitcoin. But let's get back to the point. So once all these tokens and the art came on, there was this big controversy, and obviously the maxis who feel like they own this space wanted to destroy it, and they called it spam. I actually got into a conversation with one of them, Luke Dash Jr., and actually he was quite kind. But he told me that all of the art and all of the tokens, they are spam and they're clogging up the network. He did reveal that SRC20s, though he does not like them, he says that they aren't as easy to remove from Bitcoin. Bingo. Bingo. That's the bingo right there, because the BRC20s and the ordinals, there's a way to scrub those. But the SRC20s and the stamp, they can't remove them. So that means they're attached to Bitcoin. So that means in essence, they are Bitcoin. So why would I want to get into SRC20s and stamp? Because that's a way to increase my sats and get me closer to owning one whole Bitcoin, because I can keep leveling up. Like right now for stamp, we are looking at some potential listings from one of the sexes out there, Binance, the centralized exchanges. So if stamp gets listed on Binance, do you think it's going to remain at the current market cap? No, it's not. I imagine, okay, and this is not advice, but I imagine if stamp, the SRC20 token, is listed on Binance, because they have talked about it 5 times throughout 2024, I think that is going to go the way that Ordi did. It is, first of all, going to make a pit stop. Yeah, a pit stop, like in racing, people. Does anybody get out in the car racing world? My God, that world is so interesting. Hey, Bubba. Some of you know what I'm talking about, okay? There are things that we got to do outside of crypto, people, and the racing world is pretty cool. So Stamp will make a pit stop at $1. Yeah, that's a pit stop. And by the time the crew comes out and gets the wheels back on it, it's going to race around that track. And then the next pit stop will probably be $5. So Stamp at $1? Yeah. $1 billion. Yeah. Easy peasy, nice and breezy if it goes to a centralized exchange like Binance. So what does that mean for you, for your bag? You just increased your sats. You're closer to having one whole Bitcoin, which, by the way, is sitting at, what price do we want it in? We probably want it in US. So let's give you the US price. I can give it to you in Turkish lira. By the way, hello, Turkey. You guys are amazing. They love Stamp. Who would have thought that Turkey is like ahead of the game when it comes to protocols? Yeah, Turkey. Look it up, people. There are so many influencers out there in Turkey that have the knowledge and the understanding of SRC20 and Stamp, and they love it. And that is not hyperbole, okay? That is an actual fact. Look it up. So the price right now, $94,205.45. Do you want to drop that right now to pick up 1 Bitcoin, or do you want to go sats hunting? That's what we're doing. We're hunting. We're trying to figure out, how are we going to get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so on, Bitcoin. How are we going to increase it? We can do that by actually going into the Bitcoin ecosystem and seeing, okay, what is out there that can help me increase my sats? And I say the whole protocol of Stamp can do that. So back to this question of what is iStamps? What is Stamp itself? Well, iStamps are an opportunity to just get the fees. So if you inscribe 10 iStamps, and people, you should really think about that, because once the tokens come aboard, which they should this month on the universe, then that is going to bring a new crowd over to the universe, and they will be able to buy and sell stamps, SRC20s rather. So they'll be able to buy and sell Luffy. And I haven't even talked about Luffy, because we need to get somebody from that community over here. But that is an interesting one that started just last year and has done quite well. Luffy has the most holders, 18,226 holders. But there's not a roadmap per se on Luffy. Luffy's a fan token, people. Okay, it's a fan token, because if you are familiar with anime, Japanese anime, Luffy is an actual anime character, and it has the actual official Luffy anime has nothing to do with the token. The token was just created, I guess, by someone who thought, I love Luffy, because Luffy's everywhere. I mean, it's in the comic books, it's on Netflix, it's everywhere. So it's a big deal, by the way. Luffy's not a small deal. Luffy's a humongous deal. It's Japanese anime. It's really cool. So somebody, I guess they thought, hey, why don't we just create a token called Luffy? And that's what they did. And Luffy has a really passionate community. I know that. And they have amassed the most holders, 18,226 for that particular coin. But I don't know anything more about that specific token. I talk mostly about the SRC20 stamp token. Why? Because it's the name of the protocol. Like, I don't know the team behind it, because there is no team. What do I mean by that? Every time a token is created, let's say on Solana, in ETH on Base, there's typically a team, and they have a roadmap, and they've got marketing dollars. Like, look at Pengu, people. Hello. By the way, who got that airdrop? Check your MetaMask. Oh my goodness. That was an interesting airdrop. But I'm going to use it as an example. Pengu, the first day, is on Fox News. Okay. They got that guy, Vlad, I think his name is, from Robinhood. He's there on Fox News, and he's dropping the name Pengu. That's called cabal, people. I'm sorry, but that was like not, he didn't drop the name Pengu for nothing. That was planned. That was orchestrated. That was marketing dollars. You've got to have money to get on Fox News. You're not going to see Stamp on Fox News. Stamp is organic. It's the community. It's like, planting a seed in your garden and watching it grow. We're the community, like each of us, because we are the ones that have first to market. In Pengu, you had to wait to get that airdrop. And I'll tell you, as much as it's fantastic, hey, no FUD against Pengu, okay? As much as it's fantastic, the pricing on Pengu is it's quite it's an orchestration. It's like an orchestra. Okay, there's the team has got, the team's quite padded. They own much of the supply. Go check it out. And it got listed on centralized exchanges out of the gate. I mean, it's everywhere. It's on Binance. I mean, the market cap of it is, I think it's at the billions right now. It's at the billions out the gate. You compare that to SRC20, really to anything that's on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the entire ecosystem of Bitcoin, it's all organic. None of these tokens are created by big teams that have marketing budgets. It's all community. So that's what makes Stamp such an opportunity, because we get to get in there before the big guys get in. Now, what's really fascinating is that the big guys are now coming in, but they're going to buy our bags because we're already there. Usually we buy their bags. Like, again, with Pengu, okay, I'm just using it as an example, people. I like Pengu. Don't come at me, okay? Market cap is $3 billion. There's 611,000 holders. That's a big deal. And the team, top 10 holders, this is important. They own 68% of Pengu. Let us look at Stamp, because that means that there's some whales involved, and whales can shift and make waves. And that's not always the most ideal thing when you're buying into a token, because that means they have most of the control. If you look at Stamp SRC20, well, it's a little bit different. We got one whale. Oh my God. We got one guy here who owns 18.78% of the supply. 18.78% of the supply. So he's got about 187,000 Stamp. Oh my goodness. Who is that? Oh, okay. So we got one guy that's got 18% of the supply. That's a lot. It's not like, doesn't compare with the Pengu stuff. Okay, here, perfectly here. Second person, 3.85%. Third person, 1.98%. Fourth, 109%. Fifth person, 0.77%. So that's what I mean. Like, it's spread out, where one person doesn't have the full control, and that is going to be really important, because they can't dump on us. So it's kind of rug proof. Yeah. It's rug proof. No offense here, Solana, but you're not rug proof. You are not. I've been over there. I like Solana. Don't get upset at me, okay? But over here on Bitcoin, especially in SRC20s, because that's what I'm talking about, it's rug proof, people. You can't be rugged in an SRC20. How are you going to be rugged in an SRC20? You go into it eyes wide open, because you're there and everybody's got a mint. Okay, listen, people, we need to get some other people in here. I'm being serious. Northern Satoshi, you gonna come over here and talk? I mentioned at the top of the show that we've got artists coming to Stamp, okay? Because, in the Stamp protocol, you've got the tokens. The tokens are very exciting, but you have the art. Pay attention to the art. And I'm not playing, because once people make their money in the tokens, they're coming for the art. And I was around when we saw, okay, for example, there's artwork that people were minting for $30, and then they were later on selling for like $4,000. So they were increasing their sats. I'm gonna use dollars right now, because some people are here and they're gonna be like, okay, well, what's that in dollars? You're saying this amount of sats. So they were minting for $30, and then they were able to level up and sell for like, $4,000 for one piece of artwork. But art is so important in Bitcoin, because it's attached to Bitcoin, which is the mother chain, the God chain. I think really, if you want to understand why this stuff is so important, you got to go to hope.com, Michael Saylor's website, and orange pill yourself so that you will understand the power of Bitcoin. And then you will know why people are out here bag hunting to try to get one Bitcoin. Oh my God. And we could go into the politics of it all. Canada, you might be singing the Star Spangled Banner. See, I sounded drunk while I said that. Canada, honestly, there's plans happening. Don't want to get into it, but that it all involves Bitcoin, people. Yeah, yeah. So it's all a web out here. So if you really want to understand the importance of Bitcoin, um, go out there, hope.com, Michael Saylor's website, and you will find out why Bitcoin is so important. And I mentioned jokingly about Canada, but people, it's not a joke. There's a plan out there. And I'm not going to turn this into a political show, but go look up the plan. You're not going to be singing, "Oh, Canada." You're going to be saying, "Oh, say, can you see?" I'm not saying this, people. The information's out there. Go look at it. And so there's major plans happening, and it's all to do with our economy. And here are the stars of the economy. Bitcoin, yeah, starring Bitcoin, starring the United States of America. Canada's going to get a cameo in there. And how does this all relate back to us? People, you're going to want as much Bitcoin as possible once you find out what they're going to do to the economy. I am not playing now. Once you find out what they're going to do to the world economy and what they have planned, you are going to want to own Bitcoin. So if there's a way for you to increase those sats and for you to get one whole Bitcoin, I'm telling you, you got to think about it and start small and build up and make sure, just like how people wanted gold during wartime. Yeah, wartime. Okay. There's new wars out there. They're not going to be physical. They're all going to be abstracted in the economy. And I think the precious will not be gold anymore. It's going to be Bitcoin. But, there are people that had gold. If you know your history, the government came and they confiscated that gold. Okay. Now the gold is Bitcoin. And we have keys, by the way. What are those keys? Come on, people. There are seed phrases, okay? Make sure you keep them offline. We never talk about this, but make sure you keep all your seed phrases offline. You can get a Trezor, you can get whatever you want, okay? But keep your, you know what I've done? I actually have a laptop where I do not go on the internet, okay? That laptop was purchased. Yeah, I purchased a laptop just for my seed phrases. And I do not use that laptop to go on to anything but the site that I use for cold storage. Okay, I don't use that laptop for emails. I don't use it because I'm telling you, security is going to be very important. Security is going to be very important. I'm going to say it again. Security is going to be very important. So think about how to keep your crypto safe, especially your Bitcoin safe. Don't take a picture of your seed phrase. Do not have your seed phrase backed up through Google. No offense, Google, but there's a lot of stuff happening out there. This is going to get serious because Bitcoin is going to be what gold was, especially when things are getting crazy. People run to gold. Now they're going to run to Bitcoin. So if there's ways that you can increase your sats, you obviously want to do that. And if there's ways that you can protect yourself, you want to do that. That was extra, right? That was extra. Yeah, but I was also wanting to talk about art, why people will be headed to the art, because that's where people always head. Once you make the money in the tokens, then you want to start looking at how to build on top of that momentum, and people tend to head to the art. So yeah, there was a lot of artwork that people were picking up for $30. I mean, look at the quantum cats. A quantum cat right now, they're going for about 1 Bitcoin. So that is kind of interesting. Okay, so where do you pick up artwork right now from Stamp? There's a couple of places that you can pick up artwork. Obviously, we're going to shout out the universe. There's Stamp Ninja. If you can't find what you're looking for on the universe, but if you go to tapwallet.io and you want to pick up some stamp art, you can do that. So you head over to tapwallet.io. And you will just head over to Marketplace, and then you click the Stamp tab, and there's actually about 8 pages of art. And if you want to search for an artist, actually, if you go over to the icon, some of the artists really need to get the names of their collections up there. That would be nice, because there is a tab for that. Artists, if you're listening, there is a tab to name your collection, because that would be helpful. That would be helpful. Like if you, oh, here we go. Okay. So if you're at tapwallet.io Marketplace Stamp, and if you're looking at the artwork, there's a little icon here with the I information. Click that icon, and then that will tell you more about the particular stamp. So you will see the collection name. So I'm looking at something from Viva La Stamps, and then it'll give you the ticker. All stamps are numbered, which is very cool. They're numbered in the order of that they're stamped in. And then obviously you'll see the price of the stamp, and it will also give you the owner, so that you can verify that that is Viva La Stamps, because it gives their, I guess, their address. And it's as easy as you do need to make sure that you're in native SegWit, your address, because you shouldn't hold your stamps with your SRC20s. You should make sure that your stamps are held separately, and that separately is through a native SegWit wallet. Okay? Is somebody wording on here?
Can you say that again, please? So I have my iStamps. They are, I think, in the wrong spot. But I have one quick question, Trudy. So if I hold 20 iStamps, I know
Yes.
10 iStamps gets me 50% of the, a passive income and all that. Does 20 make any difference, or is that overkill?
No, it basically what will happen is, I think I addressed this, and I'm going to just give you the straight goods without me messing it up, but I'm going to give you the straight goods on that. But when I said the wallet thing, did you want me to clear that up first?
Yes, please. I missed the beginning of that, and I'm very interested in that.
Okay. So you need to make sure, see, your iStamps are from TAP, so that would be in the Taproot side, okay? But stamps need to be sent to SegWit addresses, so you need to make sure that is in the BC1Q, not the iStamps, because the iStamps are actually from the TAP protocol.
We're just
right?
talking the artwork, the art.
Yeah, the artwork. So if you go by art, you need to make sure that you are in your native SegWit, which is your BC1Q.
Yes, it
And
wouldn't let me
then
buy it unless I was in that wallet.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And then it sets up your UTXOs, and oh my God, don't get me started, because the Dust 20 is supposed to help us, but I'll talk about Dust 20 later, people. So yeah, so that helps you.
Yes. Then my art stamp is in the right place.
Okay, but you proportionately, if you own more stamps, then that can help you with the fee revenue, and that will be at, there is a cap on that, or is it? No, I think that the cap was on it for the multiplier, because each stamp gets you each stamp gets you a 2x multiplier, but then you holding more I-stamps can absolutely help you proportionately on the amount of I-stamps that you hold, because you are going to be earning for each 10, you are going to be earning the 50% of the marketplace. I had that, you had asked that question, and then I had specifically addressed that.
Well, now I understand. So I must have missed it when you addressed it, but I do get it now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. You're, oh God, Sadie's so awesome. Sadie, I'll send you a paycheck later. Sadie's trying to help me out. Sadie's like, oh my God, it's like a 3-legged dog limping. I got to go help that woman.
You helped me. Thank you.
Okay, that's a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's the key thing, people, is make sure that you've got the right wallet. You don't want to be mixing your BRC20s and your SRC20s, because that can get really sticky. And you heard it. If you have 10 I-stamps, let's go take a look at the I-stamps. And we will be wrapping this up shortly, people. Does somebody want to get on here? Somebody want to get on here and again, I'm inviting to speak here. Invite to speak. Okay, so let's get over to some housekeeping. I-stamps. Who's got the I-stamps? Now's the time to get them. Why? They're going to be cheaper today. Obviously, with Bitcoin being down, I-stamps are going to be much cheaper. We're looking at a total cost right now of 0.002 BTC. And because Bitcoin is doing its thing, going down the roller coaster, this is an opportunity to pick up I-stamps really at a cheaper price here. Okay, so you can mint these. And if you want to mint, you go to tapwallet.io, you head over to inscribe, and these come in the rounds of, each round is distributed in batches of 2,500. There will only ever be 21,000 I-stamps. And right now we're about to complete the first round. There's 623 I-stamps remaining at the current price of 0.002 BTC. So if you want to mint, I think today's a great day to mint because the price of Bitcoin is down. So 10 will get you 50% of stamp marketplace fees distributed to I-stamp holders. And each I-stamp that you have gets you a 2x multiplier on your airdrops. Okay, so because I'm going into the housekeeping now. If anybody has questions, please step up and ask them, because I will continue keeping house here. Tap Zero, people. If you're involved with the Universe wallet, then you definitely want to get yourself a Tap Zero. Why? Because Tap Zero gives you a lifetime of zero fees. Zero fees for what? Well, anything to do with the Tap marketplace. If you're involved with Tap privileged authorizations, Tap DMT UNAT block pads, Tap DMT UNAT block drops, then you definitely want to look into the OG pass. There's only going to be 10,000 period across the board OG passes, and they are circulated in batches of 1,000. What does that mean? That means once the first 1,000 are minted out at a cost of 0.001 BTC, the next round will go up. We only have 98 left. That's not a lot. So you can take advantage of Bitcoin being where it's at right now. and mint yourself a tap zero. I see some people are minting more than one. Why would they do that? Because they're banking on this marketplace, this wallet increasing in value and holders, and over time more people are going to come in and they are going to want the OG pass, so you can resell them. You can actually go to the marketplace and you can list your tap zero for sale. There are tap zeros for sale, I can tell you. Hey Sadie, I agree with you. But there are tap zeros for sale right now. If you want to get one, it's going to cost you a ton of sats. Okay. I think over 2 million sats here. Yeah. Let's see. 27 million sats, people. How about that? Or you can just go and inscribe one for 0.001 BTC. And that gives you a 10x multiplier on your airdrops. The next tool that you want to look at is Rune Zero. Come back tomorrow. We're having a show all on runes. Rune Zero gives you the ability to mint runes. Now is the time, because crickets. That means it's silence. This is when you ninja mint. You just go and mint. Look behind your shoulder. There's nobody there. That's the time to mint. When everybody's behind your shoulder, then everybody knows your play, and you can't front run any of the peeps, because everybody's doing what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you're there before no one else is. And with Rune Zero, you can do that. It actually helps you to save on your minting at least 50%. If you go to Luminex, if you go to Xverse and Unisat, you can comparatively see that having a Rune Zero is going to get you about 50% off the price of minting. And it's really easy to mint. You can mint on the portal here. If you go over to inscribe, you hit, after you get your Rune Zero, which by the way is a 10x multiplier. I repeat myself. Do you want to know why I do that? Because the brain hunts for patterns. Yeah, it hunts for patterns. People, if you're out in the real world, or even if you're on the YouTube, my goodness, you will see that while you're watching your YouTube, there's these things called advertisements that come up. They repeat over and over, because that's how your brain pays attention to information. So I just repeat myself on purpose. And that helps your subconscious mind. But let's move ahead. Okay, so if you go to inscribe, you can also click mint runes. That's where I've been minting my runes. Okay. We see here that there's hot mints, and under the hot mints button, there's chat GPT cats. Once you have your Rune Zero, you would just hit mint and it would populate to your right. And then you would just indicate how many repeats of that mint you want. You mint, and after 6 block confirmations, and depending on the mempool, that could upload in your wallet in say 10 minutes. So you may want to take a look at that. The next thing that you really want to do is look at the names. There's so much coming to the universe in regards to names, but the first thing that you want to do is grab a name, and that name will connect itself to your address, and then you can start being social within the marketplace, because there is a chat feature over by tools. If you hit chat, then you can chat with the other wallet holders that also have their names. And you can actually go to the marketplace, and if you see that little bubble under the token that's being listed, that little bubble gives you, it's an icon for chatting. So you can click that and you can start chatting. Just make sure your wallet is connected. So that's pretty cool. And that gives you a 2x multiplier if you have registered your name. Let me make sure that is a 2x multiplier. Yeah, that's a 2x multiplier. You know, after rune 0, I should have mentioned pink is the new orange. That's the official rune for the universe. If you have that specific rune, well, you just automatically get a 4x multiplier. Pretty cool. And I talk a lot about the marketplace. If you decide to list anything on the marketplace, that's 1 point. For every 10 points that you have, that gives you a 2x multiplier. So think about that. Now, people, we're going to head into this Dust 20. Oh, OMG, Dust 20. Okay, so Dust 20 is helping with fungibility on Bitcoin. And as you know, much of the Bitcoin protocols, with the exception of stamps, are on inscriptions. So there's a process with inscriptions, and inscriptions are done so that I guess the transferring of the artifact to your wallet, you've got to have UTXOs attached there. And as you know, that UTXO thing can be a complete nightmare because you have these UTXOs that are trapped in your wallet, yada, yada, yada. So yes, I'm saying it this way because it's like, oh, Bitcoin, just make it make sense. Just make it easy peasy, nice and breezy. So Dust 20 is here, people, and that is going to change the way that the fungibility of Bitcoin. Okay. And you can actually go into Tools, Launchpad, and you can actually start minting Dust 0. You can start minting Dust 0. So for those of you who are wondering, okay, what is this Dust 20 thing that I'm referring to? Well, this is so new that it just basically came out this week. And I will tell you that I went over it quite a bit yesterday. Oh my God. I'm confused. Is this today? I got people reaching out to me here. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So it just went out yesterday. So it's basically an experiment to see if it's possible to improve fungibility on Bitcoin. So by linking the Dust limit, 546 sats, to a token unit, Bitcoin native transfers of fungible tokens should make transfer inscriptions obsolete. Did you hear that? Transfer inscriptions obsolete. So you create a Dust 20 with a deploy function. You mint an amount of Dust 20 with the mint function and proper padding. Transfer an amount of Dust 20 with proper UTXO management. The Dust 20 balance state can be found by aggregating and tracking colored UTXOs. So 546 Dust limit is the amount of sats that represent a token unit. So people, important here when inscribing sats in the item, it must be equivalent to the sats value of the mint inscription. So if you're transferring Dust 20, like again, a mint inscription locks an amount of sats equivalent to the amount of unit sat in a new UTXO. Those sats become dyed with the token. The purpose of a Dust 20 indexer wallet is to track, aggregate, and manage those dyed sats in their respective UTXOs to achieve balance changes. So let's suppose, people, I have a UTXO mint inscription of 91 tokens with a 49,686 sats padding. To transfer 10 tokens from the said UTXO, I would use it to broadcast a transaction that generates a 5460, 546 times 10 sats output to a receiver wallet, 44,222 sats output to myself. So that's 49,686 minus the 5460. A non-colored UTXO must be used to pay for network fees. Yeah. I know if you're, oh God, if you are here from Solana, if you're still here and you're here from ETH, this is the love of, for the love of Bitcoin. Get your coding language on. I love you developers. I love all of this stuff on Bitcoin, but I got to tell you, make it easy breezy, please. Easy peasy, nice and breezy. So if you want to get into that Dust 20, you can dust it up, people. Just head over to Tools, head over to Launchpad, and mint yourself a Dust 0. Okay, there's 476 mints available. 24 have completed, and that just started. And that's at a total cost of 0.0005 BTC. Hopefully you understood that explanation. If you didn't, you can go to GitHub and get more info on that. But that is pretty cool. Now, I've gone over everything, and I want to say next week we have an artist coming into the Stamp universe that is going to, it's going to be really exciting. They're coming to Stamp. I'm going to interview them, and man, it's going to be cool. That's all I can tell you. It's going to be really cool because Wednesdays are really for the art. So if you're an artist in Stamp, go and share to your friends that are stamping, and they want to come and talk about their collections and highlight their artwork and just share more with the community. Then I would love to have you on here and just feature your art. That would be pretty cool. And we're you know what, people, got to tell you, it's just the beginning. Do not be scared. Go out there, get your sats, start building your bags. There's time. They're giving us so much time. But I have a feeling when we get to January 20th, I don't know why that date, maybe look it up, things are going to change. They're going to change in a big way. So with that said, get yourself ready, and we'll see you again. We'll see you tomorrow, and just have fun out there. Have fun. Yeah, Bitcoin, thanks. We're having so much fun. Thanks for doing what you're doing. Alrighty, people, take care.
Thanks, Trudy.